Good morning, everyone, and welcome to A Moment of Hope with Upward Transitions. I'm Carla Stinnett, and today we are very excited to welcome Natalie Springer, the Case Manager Supervisor at Diversion Hub. Let's bring her in. Hi, Natalie.
Hello, so happy to be here.
Good to have you here with us today. We're excited to learn more about the mission of Diversion Hub and how you began and everything. So tell us a little bit about the founding of Diversion Hub and how long it served Oklahomans.
So we've only been open a year officially. We opened our doors to clients in June of 2020. However, we were kind of before that, we're funded by the Arnold Family Foundation, and that's where I came from. I started my work in criminal justice reform with them in the public defender's office. And after about a year and a half, 2 years, we thought, let's just make this a whole organization. So got everyone hired, and we've been open 13 months now. So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're one of the collaborative partner agencies that works with Upward Transitions. And as a case manager supervisor, what are you seeing as far as the biggest needs in the clients that you serve on a regular basis?
So we see a lot, but I think one of the biggest things that we see our clients need is mental health and substance abuse treatment. We have a lot of clients that are struggling with mental health issues and substance abuse. And, unfortunately, here in this state, we don't have a ton of resources that we do have some really good partners that we work with. We work very closely with North Care. We refer to Red Rock, Hope, all the usuals. But it's still, it's just sometimes the wait times for those places can be a detriment for our clients, especially when we're trying to get them in compliance with their court cases or probation. Sometimes getting their, mental health stabilized or getting them into treatment can be, kind of a matter of, it's a really big deal in the court's eyes. And so we make sure that we get them set up for stability as quickly as we can.
So do I understand this right? You are serving the legal side.
Yes.
More often than not.
Justice-involved individuals here in Oklahoma County, specifically on the pretrial and probation side. So for those clients that are actively going to court on a case, a misdemeanor or felony case, or they've been sentenced to probation, those clients are the ones that are eligible for our case management services. We do have a team of justice navigation here. And those justice navigators help clients kind of with the court process. They are not attorneys, but they are very well versed in the criminal dockets. So, court reminders, helping explain the fines and fees. That's super confusing here in Oklahoma County. And just setting them up for success with their probation too, making sure that they know where to go for their court-ordered classes and where their probation officer is located. The things that we have witnessed over time that lead individuals back into county jail, or even, leading to a probation violation, which can put them into the custody of DOC. We are trying to reduce those numbers of individuals going into the county jail and ultimately DOC.
Well, I'm just curious, are any of your clients that you serve part of an eviction case? Do you deal with that at all?
So we focus on criminal, but
Okay.
we do, if our clients do have some civil cases going on at the same time, we assist them the best we can. We typically refer out to legal aid for those issues, or we have an eviction attorney that we work closely with, but we focus, our expertise is on the criminal side.
I see. Okay. So in looking at the clients that you serve, how prevalent is the cycle of poverty as a contributor to their needs?
Oh, it's extremely prevalent. All of our clients that walk through the door are experiencing poverty. A lot of our clients are experiencing homelessness. And when you look at the cycle of incarceration and the cycle of poverty, they're so intertwined. Our clients have just been stuck in those cycles for so long. and don't really know how to get out, or they've tried multiple times and they get stuck again. The fines and fees system here in Oklahoma County is not only is it confusing, it's extremely expensive. And, if you miss paying your court costs, paying your probation officer, paying the DA's office, you have potential to get a warrant, and then which puts you back in the county jail, which in that case, if you had a job, you probably lost it. Your children, probably get put in the custody of the state, and you either hopefully can afford to bond out, or, which we see a lot is not happening. Our clients can't afford to be bonded out. So they either just wait for their case to plea, they plead guilty, or a judge will let them out on their own recognizance. So it's just that cycle over and over again. And that's where we come in and try and help stabilize them, get them some employment, get them the mental health treatment or substance abuse treatment they need, help get them set up with housing, to hopefully stop that cycle.
Yes. So I guess some of those points about the fines and the fee system. So in overall, why do you think, in your opinion, that Oklahoma's poverty rate continues to be 5 percentage points above the national average?
So I think there's multiple reasons. Again, we're always kind of circling back to the mental health, substance abuse. It's so prevalent in the clientele that we serve. And then, our education system here. But for what we focus on and what we see a lot is the rate at which Oklahoma incarcerates people. People who have been incarcerated are significantly more likely to experience homelessness and have a harder time finding employment. There are some really good second chance employers out there, which we are extremely grateful to. But it can be difficult, especially if, you've never really had a ton of time to get stable and find those jobs. So we work with employment partners here in-house that know where all of those places are. So that's what we see here, is just how their experience being incarcerated or their experience within the justice system has just kind of kept them stuck in poverty. I know.
And a lot of them that have, grown up in poverty, they have been trapped because of lack of education, the opportunities that are available to them. And I know that creates kind of that cycle. I know that Upward Transition sees clients that have been trapped in that cycle. And so, what's great about the nonprofit community here in Oklahoma County is that we do have this collaboration, that we work with each other. We focus on the different strengths that we have as an agency that we bring to the table. And so in looking, at that, how do you think, in your opinion, that the community can best impact the lives of those who are living below the poverty line or those experiencing homelessness?
I think kind of like what you said, just collaborating, sharing resources. We here are not experts in everything. That's why we bring in partners. That's why we, are always out in the community looking for new ways to help our clients. There are some really great organizations in Oklahoma City. And I think if we just, put our minds together too, and let the public know this is what we're seeing every day. This is, it may not affect you and your family, but, it affects your neighbors and the community as a whole. Just letting them know what is out there and what needs to be done in the future. And then also, just something kind of day to day that we preach here is just compassion for your neighbor. Our clients have been through so much and so much trauma, and even just trauma from the justice system, that just a warm smile and a listening ear really does go a long way. Yeah,
and I think, speaking of that compassion, taking ownership of your community. Like, this is our community. This is our own backyard. This is our village. These are our people. These are our children. I mean, this cycle of, families getting evicted, which comes up as the eviction moratorium will lift. It's imperative that we keep these families with their children in their homes to prevent them from getting on the streets, because that just starts that cycle all over again. Or it starts a new cycle, you just want to stop that inflow of children being put on the streets, because it starts that trauma and has all those negative effects on their life that's sometimes lifelong. So it's real important that we prevent this if we can, be proactive and prevent it as much as we can. And we are so appreciative of the work that Diversion Hub does for intervening and helping these clients that, are dealing with the criminal justice system. So, but, just in, how do you see Diversion Hub? Do you know some instances, or if you have a client story you want to share, but how Diversion Hub and Upward Transition works together to assist the clients?
Oh, on a daily basis. We use you guys all the time for your ID resources, and you guys are the experts in getting clients the documents they need. Most of our clients do come in with absolutely no identification documents, and that is the first thing we have to tackle, because we can't get them employment, we can't get them housing, can't get them into some of their court-ordered classes that they need to accomplish without any form of ID. And so you guys are just absolutely wonderful at that. And we are so grateful that exists in our community, because it is, especially right now with still in the COVID world, nothing is easy. Even just me trying to get an ID or something takes weeks. So having you guys there to help facilitate that for our clients has been wonderful. And I have a client specifically who he came in about a year ago. It was right when we first opened. And he came directly from court. The judge had recommended, hey, you should go check out Diversion Hub. They can kind of get you on track and make sure you're successful with your probation. He had just pled to probation. And he came in with nothing, young kid, super smart, motivated. We were able to get him his ID pretty quickly, get him to work. And a year later, he's housed. He's got the same job he did a year ago. And he's just killing it in life. And I am so proud of him. And he has technically graduated from Diversion Hub, but he still stops by every now and then, because this is just, his home base in a lot of ways. He jumped around from shelters for a little bit and then was able to get into housing. And, he's completely supports himself now and just got a promotion at work. I'm just so proud of him. And it really all started because you guys were able to help get him that ID, and which led to him getting a stable, steady job.
Yeah, and we're always it's rewarding personally to even work in an environment where you're able to help people become productive citizens again and contribute back to society and support themselves. And those are the wins that make our days, when we have those clients that can stabilize and maintain housing, and we are seeing it. I mean, it's happening. Our work works, and our process works. So it's something exciting that we share together in the nonprofit community. But Natalie, I guess our time is up today, and I just want to thank you so much for being our special guest. And we look forward to continuing our work together with Diversion Hub. And we just want to see everyone next week. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Have a great week.